Yeah, well, what did the Joker say? He had a term for that. All right. You get what you fucking deserve. And that's exactly what's happening. That's no devious smile. Thank you for another 5. Oh, we're fine. He's in Italy and I work in Straya. I'm just happy to see him break the brainwashing. I will be more happy to see Razor Fist right. He did a pretty nice fuck you, I was right again. I mean, he had every right to do so. I'm still thinking the 5. A lot of folks in my hood are having voters' remorse, and it's extremely funny that the left is eating each other. I agree. I fucking agree. That just sit back and enjoy. Remember, don't lift a finger to help them. Don't let them fall, let them suffer, and after they lose everything, that's when you can consider that. All right, now that you've learned your lesson, hopefully. Now we can work on fixing shit. But definitely don't save their shit if they stood by and let yours get taken. They have to lose everything first, and then you can cooperate if you still are so inclined.
You do have some changes.
And you thinking of the 5, that's a sexy dragon. PP grew 3 sizes too big. Well, that's another No Nuts November failure. And Vassal Park thing to do. All future of the industry is direct to creator. Oh, direct to consumer? Yeah, that's... You're right, that is the future of all industry. Just cut out as many middlemen as possible. I agree. Now, what's that going to do to the unskilled labor economy when pretty much stores even stop existing because everything... I mean, with the exception of food, like groceries... Pretty much most people now already opt to just buy things and wait a day or so for them to show up. We'll see. I guess everyone's going to be working in Amazon wagey cages at the warehouses. Eric's Neil 20, thank you for the 2. I heard someone's piss nickel died and Xbox vape smoke. It was some of the was it the preview units? Some of the preview units died. And I assume they're the same hardware as a regular one, so we're going to see probably mass failures tomorrow when it actually launches. At least I'm hoping. I want to see the fucking... I want to see the dumpster fire. I want to laugh at the dumpster fire. I could use it right about now.
We're on the road, man. We're on the road, people.
I may have a lot more time. I don't know how much longer I'll be at my day job. We'll see. We'll fucking see. And then Robert Bloomsburg, thank you for the 5. Just saw a picture of Trump done in the style of an Alfred Hitchcock photo. I'd be scared if I were a leftist. Well, he still has all the way through, what, February to implement some shit? Hopefully he actually has the balls to do it. And Kennick, thank you for the 5. In my dream last night, I made contact with ETs, became the galaxy's greatest prawn salesman, changed my name to Don Filetio, and became ruler of Earth. Oh, that is a nice dream, man. Becoming the ruler of Earth after peddling smut. Oh, perfect. All right, so let's just jump into it, man. I'm gonna try to keep this to like maybe 2 hours today. We'll see. I'll probably fail though. I usually do.
Huh?
First, a blast from the past, because this might be relevant in the near future. Kamala Harris, aka Heels Up Harris, proposes housing plan where everybody gets a free 10x10 room and 3 meals a day. The best part is, this may be the Babylon Bee, but this isn't a joke. She'd probably really do this. Following the recent announcement that Kamala Harris has been selected as Biden's running mate, Senator Harris was eager to share plans of her own if elected. Harris has now unveiled a bold new strategy to provide affordable housing to the Americans she believes need it most. That's right. Give all the minority communities affordable housing. Now, Harris's free housing plan will provide poor families with a clean, safe, secure concrete room, armed guards, and 3 full meals a day. I mean, a prison does really sound like the leftist, like a communist paradise, doesn't it? You get free shelter, security, 3 hots and a cot. That's what they want, right? Free healthcare, free college. Yeah, truly, I can think of no better place for these people to be contained, live, said Kamala Harris, smiling and taking pictures outside the facility. No one is more deserving of going to the big house. Harris proceeded to give a tour of the exclusive gated community that she hopes will soon house mass quantities of people. The housing boosts top-level security, featuring the high walls, barbed wire fence, 24-hour surveillance, and dedicated guards, said the senator. From these towers, guards keep a watchful eye and can quickly defuse any disturbance.
You don't need this, do you?
All right, we have a very relevant comment here I need to pull up. That's right. You're absolutely right. Okay, and the affordable housing is laid out in a fun, organized sections that look like that they like to call cell blocks. And the secrets to cutting down costs is our innovative floor plan that combines the bathroom, bedroom, living room, and dining room into one space, explained Harris, walking through one of the blocks. Additionally, each person has access to 3 government-provided delicious bowls of gruel every day. One resident informed us he's tried to leave multiple times, but that he's not been able to. He said he understands that Kamala knows what's best for him and that they're only keeping him there for his best interest and safety. When pressed for comment, Kamala simply laughed it off. At publishing time, several reports indicated that there was a mostly peaceful riot in the yard. Fucking A. We don't waste no motherfucking soap. That's right. You didn't wash behind your ears. Not drinking tea. Oh, I have. Chris Hansen really quit, huh? We finally know. The mystery has been solved. But okay. Now, continuing the comedy, we got this comedy of errors. Continuing. They just never stop. Cockbite's home streaming app installation bricks Apple TV, reports achievement hunters Gavin Free. Now, how embarrassing is that? You live stream
Yeah, it's just a rainy day. We're riding back home now.
Oh man.
Almost
Let's see. Okay, nothing unusual going on there. Perfect. Anime is trash.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm guessing season 8 is the final Ruby season. I mean, do you think we're gonna have season 8? Like, really, guys, do you think we're actually gonna have a season 8? That legitimately is what I would like to know. Because was it 7 is being uploaded now, pretty much? So I mean, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have one. Maybe even if they already greenlit it, if Warner just shuts them down completely, well, what are they gonna do? I mean, seriously, what the fuck can they do? So, despite Cockbite's insistence that the app would make the series such as Ruby or Red vs. Blue easier to watch than YouTube, now that, by the way, was the least creative, most blatant lie I've seen in a while when trying to excuse bad decisions. You didn't take this shit off of YouTube to make it easier to watch. You took it off of YouTube because you wanted to direct money to one of your own apps so you can get more fucking advertisement shekels. That's all this is about. It's just trying to get more money out of your audience. And there's no place to watch things like this easier than YouTube in this, because people have been watching shit here on YouTube for years now. It's easier to keep doing it here than to leave and go to another platform. So Rooster Teeth, I mean, they don't got that much time left. So Achievement Hunter Ghost Gavin Free recently divulged that his attempt to install the app on his Apple TV bricked the device. At least he was honest about it. So during the most recent episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast, Tiny Japanese Trucks Are My Life Now, Free is seen, or rather unseen, in the beginning of the episode, having difficulties with his camera, resulting in his screen presenting nothing but a black square. Well, I think he may have just had his little privacy guard on and didn't realize because he's a fucking boomer. Upon his return, Free informs the panel that he is having a tech nightmare at the moment and recalls how his troubles started not with the camera, but his Apple TV and the Cockbite app. Firstly, I thought, sweet, I'm going to check out the new living room app, explained Free. And then as I was installing it, the Apple TV broke. It, bricked it. Free's comments were quickly met with denial and pushback as co-hosts Gus Sorolla and Barbara Dunkelman both declared the issue was not related to our app. Wow. So what can I read out of this? I mean, is Free one of our guys and everyone else was just trying to cover for just be good corporate mouthpieces? Is that basically what's going on? Because I think that's what's going on.
This is the reason.
Free would then state that obviously his issues had nothing to do with the app, because of course they don't. But before he could elaborate on this statement or explain the actual effects that resulted in the breaking of his Apple TV, Sorolla challenged the audience to prove Gav wrong prove Gav wrong by downloading the apps themselves, shifting the direction of the conversation. Now, what would she have done if she bricked thousands of people's stuff? What was it? Or he? That was sorry, I guess. What would he have done if he had bricked thousands of people's Apple TVs? Now, anime YouTuber Hero Hey took particular issue with Sorolla and Dunkelman's reactions, stating that his coverage that the two could keep denying it, but that's not actually going to change the reality, and summarized their responses as an attempt to brush this under the rug and defend their mega corporation. Yeah, they have to suck all the dick they can right now. It's what was it with DC? The new editor-in-chief was announced at DC a couple of days ago, and all the fucking brown nosers came out. Oh my God, this is the start of an era. She is so perfect for the job. There was no one better. They're all trying to suck up and suck some fucking dick because they know that they're on the chopping block. They know they're not going to be around for much longer. So they think, oh, maybe I can stick it out just a little bit if I suck up enough. So DC news, by the way, the DC did actually have another round of layoffs, and they laid off a bunch of higher-ranking people at the company. Right. But the more interesting thing when it comes to these layoffs at Marvel and DC, the more interesting thing is that the layoffs they don't tell you about. They don't tell you about all the writers and the artists that are currently independent contractors that just won't have any more work thrown their way. Their current books are going to be canceled, and they're just not going to get any more. They're not being furloughed. They're not being fired. They're just not getting their contracts renewed, basically. So pretty much the entire Marvel and DC writing and art staff are just... They're going to be fired without anyone even mentioning that they got fired, because all that happened is they're just not getting called for more work. That's it.
In a quarter mile, slight right on.
And you know what? I'm fine with that, because these guys... Dude, they are willing to throw anyone else under the bus to save their own asses, and they've thrown their own fans under the bus at this point. Whatever.
Yeah, I think
we'll be better off without him.
Streams like this, to be honest.
So, however, there's not only that is not the only reported issue with the app thus far, as when a fan sought help in getting the app to function on his Xbone, Cockbite's Justin Marino informed them that there's a known issue with the app not being compatible with a limited amount of older TV models.
One of the live streams I wanted to watch.
Okay, so you're just gonna have to hashtag deal with it. At least when it comes to like phones. They I don't think they even let you download anything that's incompatible with your model of phone.
So, what you been up to?
Yeah, I guess Cockbite can't be bothered. So we are going to be pushing out another update to fix this in the coming days, Marino assured. We'll see. Well, that remains to be seen. Now, what do you make of Free's statements? Do you think he's telling the truth or joking around? Let us know your thoughts on social media in the comments below. Yeah. I think he's telling the truth. I mean, I don't know if it was the app itself that bricked his Apple TV, or if that just happened to be the lucky one that was being installed at the time it was bricked. But I just thought this was hilarious. Maybe this is just Cockbite's way of flipping everyone the bird on their way out. Like, fine, we're going to take Ruby off of YouTube and make you brick your devices to watch it. Ha!
Well, thank you, my brother.
Damn.
Uh-oh, we're about to do
a cautionary tale of getting what you deserve, as you did that to others before. So many could fucking apply right there. So many. Yeah, nice dragon. Fuck yeah, the bestest dragons. Yeah, we only have the best dragons around here. Okay. So let's see. Jarniki, thank you the 5. What are the chances I get zapped for crapping on my governor's yard as protest?
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, do you live in California? I don't know. I guess I don't think the governors are generally as locked down as like the president is, but it depends. Especially after what happened in Michigan, maybe your governor has extra security. Maybe you won't even be able to get into his yard. I definitely would recommend against sneaking around at night, because that's just that's probably gonna make them shoot first, ask questions later if you're being obviously suspicious. But hopefully you can figure it out. Someone figured out how to take a shit in Pelosi's driveway. Maybe you can find a way to do it in your governor's yard. And Victor Gaming, thank you the 5. The regressive stack is unraveling faster than ever. Please be peaceful. I voted Biden. Yep, I remember that. It's like, hey, look, here's my Biden-Harris sign. Don't destroy my shit. Like, well, asking for peaceful protest is white supremacy. Huh? You guys get what you fucking deserve.
I'm actually surprised by
Robert Bloomsburg, thank you the 5. Cockbite. Never thought I'd see a company go the way of Machinima and Interplay at once. Yeah, their days were numbered as soon as they sold out, basically. They used to be a relatively decent indie studio, and then they sold out to a big mega corporation, and now they're just another department in the mega corporation, and they have to suck dick with everyone else. And it's kind of funny, thank you the 5. I used to be a big Red vs. Blue fan, but after the Chorus trilogy, it was all downhill. Season 9 is still my favorite. Yeah, Red vs. Blue used to be pretty good.
You can make
Ruby actually used to be good too, until Monty died. There's so much stuff. I mean, it's sad watching IPs you used to like go down the shitter, but eventually you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, he made...
At least I did.
He said lately
Thank you the 2. Remember, Ruby is only good for porn now. Well, it was always good for that, but I guess you're right. Now that's the only thing it's good for. Yeah, so if you like some good Rule 34, Ruby has some good characters. Gee, thank you for the buck. Hey, gee, I'm late
late
here and home instead of work, so enjoying your stream at home for once. Well, congratulations, man. I actually maybe should have been working right now, but went, nah, I'm not gonna let this shit. So they tried to pull a last-second emergency on me. Shit that they've known about for weeks. And now suddenly, and come 4 p.m., oh my God, this entire thing has to be done from start to finish by tomorrow. Like, well, you guys enjoy that then. Hashtag not my problem.
So yeah.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, I could have a very interesting story to tell on Friday. Let's just say, if shit keeps flying around at that place.
First time I've seen you, and what was it about?
Oh damn. Okay, so let's keep plowing through these because we got so many. Oh, this one. If you live in New York, oh my God, you guys be ready. Be fucking ready. Make sure you never have to call the cops, because guess who's gonna show up? Pilot program will replace NYPD for mental health 911 calls in 2 neighborhoods.
Everything on my screen.
Uh-oh. We'll see how well that goes. Just wait until enough of these mental health experts end up getting shot. And then real quick, they're going to bring the cops back.
Do you think I should
and not only are they going to bring the cops back, but they're actually... oh, God, what was it? Like that was Mayor DeLay in Chicago, like decades ago, when they were having problems with rioting and looting. He was like, yeah, I told my cops, I instructed them to shoot to kill if these fuckers don't stop.
A lot more interesting.
Yeah, they're going to go completely in the other direction when this thing blows up in their face. So yeah. New York City plans to launch a pilot program in 2 neighborhoods that will replace police officers for most 911 calls for mental health emergencies with a team of mental health and crisis professionals. The new procedure is set to go into effect early next year in 2 high-need communities in New York City that are still being selected based on the number of 911 calls for mental health crises. Now, what counts as a mental health crisis? Would this be like your average domestic abuse problem? Would that be a mental health crisis? Yeah, 1K. Nice. You guys are great. I gotta say, though, these shirts look pretty cool. These fucking shirts actually look pretty hilarious. I'd totally get one of these just to screw with people. A rise of the street judge coming to New York City. You can't count on the cops, you have to count on yourself, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves there. This is the first time in our history that health professionals will be the default responders to mental health emergencies. New York City First Lady Shirlane McRae said Tuesday as she announced the policy alongside Mayor Bill de Blasio and city health officials. Okay. So, I know a guy who works in a place that deals with people who have mental health issues. And one time, one of their patients was, and this dude, by the way, apparently he was like 6'5". He was like built like a fucking tank, and he was having a little temper tantrum. He was having a little bit of an outburst, and he had one of the employees in a headlock. And they were just running around screaming, crying, couldn't figure out what to do. The security guard showed up and non-violently de-escalated the situation. And after all was said and done, the people who were running around like chickens with their heads cut off, not knowing what to do, were lecturing the security guard on how they could have handled the situation better. I am not even fucking joking. Then all of these people were completely worthless at the first sign of actual trouble. Someone else comes in and solves the problem with no one getting hurt. And they were lecturing the person who solved the fucking problem.
I wonder if they have steering wheel mounts.
Let's just say that person quit shortly after that. Say, I ain't putting up with you fucking idiots anymore. You guys can get killed. I don't care.
Probably.
Yep, become the hero, get lectured about how not to use violence. Uh-huh. That's right. And people like that, by the way, they aren't worth protecting. You do not save people like that. You just let natural selection do its fucking job. That's what I say anyway. So treating a mental health crisis as mental health challenges and not public safety ones is the modern and most appropriate approach, she added. You know, I'm not entirely against this. The majority of 911 calls are fucking bullshit. It's like two neighbors feuding with each other for the most part. I mean, most 911 calls are petty shit like that. So you really don't need to send like the SWAT team for this petty shit. Maybe in some situations, like when no one's being violent, sure, send in a mental health professional to de-escalate. Why not? But if there's threats of violence going around, that's when you're like, okay. If we don't send someone armed, someone who can fight, things may not end well. So this is where there were more than 170,000 mental health calls to 911 in New York City last year, and the majority concerned people who just needed help with no intention of violence at all. Well, we'll see how that goes for you. So teams responding to these types of calls will consist of an EMS healthcare professional as well as a mental health crisis worker. Oh, I think they're just trying to create more jobs for city employees. That's it. They're trying to create more social worker jobs. The New York Police Department officers will not be among the default first responders in these two neighborhoods as they previously had been. So I gotta wonder what the cops think about this, because now, by the time they get the call, there's an extra 2 hostages to deal with. Okay.
I hope not.
Okay. So the cases where someone is reported to have a weapon or violent behavior, an officer will be dispatched to, but the health professionals will be in charge of coordinating the effort, McCrae said. Yeah, that's the point where if I was the cop and I had some fucking psychology major calling the shots, I'd just be like, no, you go ahead. You go ahead and do what you gotta do. And then as soon as it blows up in their face, I'd wait a little bit before fixing the problem. So Susan Herman, director of Thrive New York City, said the previous pod program consisting of NYPD officers and mental health workers responding to these kinds of 911 calls is on hold while the city sees if the even more health-centered approach to these kinds of mental health emergencies would be successful.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's fine. Try it out. The aim is for mental health emergencies to be de-escalated by providing immediate care and then connecting the person who's having the crisis with the appropriate professionals for long-term health care, McCrae said. Oh, I got it. I got it. So, tranquilizer darts.
Oh, come on.
Why not? If someone, if you got some person with mental health issues throwing a tantrum and at risk of hurting themselves and others around them, fucking tranquilize them and then peacefully take them to wherever they can get the help they need. Yeah, the one downside is you'll probably have to look into their medical history first and see how they react to the tranquilizer, but that would fix the problem. Non-violently.
I actually think we should have our own talk show.
So when it's not done properly, then these people are not encountered and handled properly. It can be traumatizing for them, she added. We do not want to make a bad situation worse for anyone. I can understand that sentiment. Laura Kavanaugh, the first deputy commissioner of New York City Fire Department, said training for the EMS teams and social workers, what did I say, will begin immediately for the rollouts to begin in February. The goal is for the program to eventually expand across the city, de Blasio said. You better damn well hope that none of these none of these damn mental health professionals end up getting injured in the course of this. Although
I can't actually
this is something that needs to be done. It does. This needs to happen. Because now, whenever some mental health professionals screw up and people get hurt, now the cops get to come out and dictate to them how they could have done it better. Because that's pretty much the situation the cops are in now. Every time they do something and it doesn't go according to plan, and sometimes people get hurt, they got to listen to all these armchair quarterbacks telling them how they should have done their jobs. And for the record, sometimes these people may be right, but when you're specifically talking about a life or death situation where your adrenaline is flowing and you have the fight or flight response, unless you personally have ever been in that situation, you should probably shut the fuck up. Because you don't know how you'd react in that situation, even if you have training, until you're actually in that situation. So this is actually something that I'm glad is happening. I'm really glad that this shit's going on, because now the cops get to say, "I told you so," when shit goes south.
It's not my driving that worries me.
The vast majority of cases you're talking about, you have an opportunity for a peaceful outcome with a health-centered approach, and that's what we're focusing on here. Obviously, if you have proven professional addressing people, they're going to be the best able to get a good outcome, de Blasio said. I mean, that's not exactly wrong either. I do actually agree with not escalating to the point of violence if the other person isn't being violent. That is a legit problem I have with the cops in America in current year. They kick the door down and are ready to go, guns blazing, at the slightest provocation for non-violent calls. That shit does need to change, because a lot of times it's the cops that escalate the situation. But outside of those rare instances, though, for the most part, they do it right.
Buy it outright.
Police Commissioner Dermot Shea said NYPD, the nation's largest police department, was looking forward to participating in the program. Our officers applaud the intervention by health professionals in these nonviolent cases and, as always, stand ready to assist. Well, that's less shit for them to worry about, so I can understand that attitude for sure.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, they want to be cowboys, yeah. I mean, that would only work if we actually had the Wild West and we could actually shoot back. Earlier this year, a number of high-profile incidents drew national attention to police departments' responses to people having mental health crises. In March in Rochester, Daniel Prude was experiencing a mental health crisis when police responded to a 911 call, pinned him to the ground, and handcuffed him. Police officers put a hood over his head, and he suffocated. Nicholas Chavez was also having a mental breakdown in Houston when he was killed, shot 21 times with 28 officers on the scene in April. A 13-year-old in Utah who had autism was injured in September when officers shot him while he was having an episode.
Okay,
well,
I gotta do
hold the parents accountable for that one. In Philadelphia, Walter Wallace Jr. was fatally shot by police in October. His family says they called 911 looking for an ambulance because he had mental illness and he had been taking lithium. Officers yelled at Wallace to drop a knife. New York City is not alone in its plans to have mental health workers respond to these types of calls rather than cops, as other cities around the country have launched similar initiatives. I'm quite sure the cops actually appreciate not having to deal with this shit anymore. But Bob's got a point. Regardless of what your excuse is, you could use mental health as an excuse all you want. But if you're basically in a bloody rage, threatening to hurt or kill people, don't be surprised when you end up looking like Swiss cheese, man. Oh damn. Yeah, Ruchigami's right. That kid went from first episode to final season real quick. Fuck. See, he did, man. That was just a pilot that never got renewed. That's what that was.
Can I run screen while I'm doing live stream?
Alrighty. And was that? So advocates calling for police reforms have long pushed for mental health care workers to play a greater role in responding to emergency calls. Many activists who called to defund the police this summer in the wake of the riots have also backed similar policies. Oh, we're going to get to some of these defund the cops bullshit people. But they may talk about defunding the cops, but as soon as things go south, guess who they call? It's not the Ghostbusters.
Because if I'm going to learn
the New York City program is modeled off of one established in Eugene, Oregon, where similar two-person teams consisting of a medic and crisis worker responds to calls of mental health crises through a program called Crisis Assistance Helping Out on the Streets, or CAHOOTS. Damn, I swear to God, they fucking pick the acronym first, and then they're like, oh, what words can we fucking shove in here that would work to fill this acronym? I've actually seen it happen. I've actually seen this. I worked at a company where we already had an acronym, and they wanted to rebrand, but they wanted to keep the same acronym, so they put a fucking contest as to how we can rename it. It was insane. So, focusing on harm reduction, the Cahoots program responds to a variety of mental health crises and was launched by the Whitebird Clinic in 1989. Responders don't carry weapons, and among the roughly 24,000 calls Cahoots received last year, the team requested police backup only 150 times, according to the program. You know what? I would actually be glad to be proven wrong. Hopefully, this actually ends up being a success. Tim Black, the director of consulting at Whitebird Clinic.
Wait,
well, that's his name fits for the workplace, I guess. Called the New York program an opportunity for New Yorkers to bring their communities a compassionate response built around support, stabilization, and prevention rather than enforcement. Yeah, that's in the cases where the cops are the ones who escalate. I can understand.
$3. Keep the change.
So we should be asking ourselves why it is that law enforcement has become the default system to handle situations related to mental health, addiction, poverty, and homelessness, and what public safety should really mean for our most vulnerable neighbors. I can explain some of that. Now, mental health, addiction, and homelessness, the reason those three are handled by the cops is because those people can get violent. I think I've mentioned before, when it comes to homeless people, if your mind is still intact, you spend your nights at a shelter, and then you spend your days at the daytime shelter, aka the public library, and that's where a lot of people, like say, you're just down on your luck, you're homeless for a little bit, maybe you're sleeping in your car. Dude, they live in their cars sometimes, then they just go to the YMCA to shower and whatnot. There's a lot of people who are homeless and they're just completely out of the way, not being a nuisance. But the type of people who normally get the cops called on them, those are the ones who they actually have mental issues, and they're so disruptive that they get kicked out of the homeless shelters. And your average person isn't going to know how to handle that. Yeah, that's how that goes. So Matt Kudish, Executive Director of National Alliance on Mental Illness of New York City, however, was more critical of what he said was a lack of peer involvement in the pilot program. This feels like a missed opportunity, he said. Moving responsibility from one city bureaucracy to another removes any chance of community involvement. He also said NYPD's continued role in some of the cases only further exacerbates tensions. The pilot is a step in the right direction, but not nearly enough, Kudish said. Well, just wait until he has to call the cops and a mental health professional shows up. Now, that would just be hilarious.
Now, why would you do that?
Damn. Alrighty.
And he's wearing his mask.
So let's get the dragon back because we keep an eye on this, by the way. Keep an eye on New York City. Watch what they're doing, because for all we know, maybe this program is actually going to be a success and improve things. I actually kind of hope it is, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not going to hold out a lot of hope that this is what's going to happen, to be honest.
Interior.
Yeah, Cahoots is in the town Simpsons is based on. They won't let housing get built, so rent is super high for the region. Man. So where I live, the only reason I actually bought a house was because I noticed that I could continue renting an apartment, like a small 600 square foot, one bedroom apartment. I could continue renting one of those, or for $200 a month more, I can basically own a house. And that was years ago. Now, I pay less on my mortgage each month than I would pay in rent if I still had a tiny one-bedroom apartment.
Envisioned that a while ago.
I guess I made the right call. The only time it'll be a problem is, like, say, if I had to quickly move it's a lot easier to walk away from a rental than from something you own, obviously. And you know what? Actually, Ghost Rule's right. I only bought the house, and it specifically has a basement just so I can keep artists in it. It's already starting to get crowded in there. I mean, we got Toxic and Rojigami and Hanariel all in there drawing titties all day. Yeah, it's getting a little crowded in that fucking basement. I may have to dig a sub basement. Yeah, I might have to one of these days, because they're getting a little bit packed in there, and it's getting a lot harder to feed them too. Yeah, all these all these damn whoppers. I mean, they're expensive.
Oh, there goes an officer. Goodbye, officer.
RGE needs a B2. I do. I need a basement level 2 and then 3. I'll get a storage unit. Hell yes. Yeah, see, Rojigami knows. I only get to watch his streams and nothing else. Send help, guys. By help, he means he wants a whopper, too. Because Toxic is hogging them all. Yeah, Fallout Shelter. Oh, yeah, I need to buy one of those old repurposed missile silos. Shit, and at least I'll survive the coming collapse. That'll be great.
It happens.
Got a license for these people? Not only do I got a license, I even got my permit for my license. I'm ahead of the game.
You're like, oh shit, window.
No fucking UK cuckery is gonna stop
Good thing
me.
I did not get that on camera. That would be amazing.
Not the vegan whoppers. No, that's what happens when they fail to draw titties correctly. I threaten to feed them the vegan whoppers. Say, well, you either learn to draw better titties, or I'm gonna have you grow an example of your own.
Now he's talking about tits.
That's how it works.
Now he's talking about titties.
Yeah, Godai's not exactly wrong. Artists have no rights. I mean, that is the current era mindset.
Hey, I got no
Yeah, I agree with Liam on this one pretty much completely. How most people, I mean, even in the indies, but really it's mostly the mainstream industry, they view artists as just someone to exploit and underpay as much as possible, and then discard them when they're no longer useful, or work them to death. All you got to do is trick them to keep them passionate, and they'll gladly keep slaving away.
Imagine you finding
That's just how it goes, I guess.
Alexis with the
All right, so what was that? MGTOW Gaming thinking the 5. You think the Democrats are destroyed? Do they think they won the election and are now acting like savages? Maybe election remorse kicks in bigger. That's why I was saying, even when I did the election stream last week, we still don't have a result. Even then, I said, regardless of who wins, we're going to see some great salt. So just enjoy it. And Alexander's fine. Thank you for the 2. Help! I'm being robbed. How does that make you feel? And how does that make you feel? No, in all fairness, sorry, I coughed it. In all fairness, though, I mean, they wouldn't. If it was a robbery in progress, that's a call the cops would actually show up to.
Well, you can also tweet that.
But it's only a matter of time until they try to take them off those 2, I guess. Brandon Bruno, thank you the 5. We need to bring back the show Cops to watch mental health professionals trying to stop some crackhead. Yes! Oh my God, that would be great.
And,
So Cops was canceled because of all the anti-police rioting. But now, yeah, that's right, bring the show back and follow these mental health professionals around and see how their days go. See how long until they just are like, all right, that's it, I'm calling the cops. And Chinks Khan, thank you for the 2. So who's going to become the Duke of New York? Maybe I can apply for that job. We'll see. Scott from Nelson, thank you for the 5. You can only get away with with that in low crime areas. In high crime areas, the social workers would just demand a police escort after a big incident. Yeah. So then it's going to go from say a mental health professional and a social worker
Because all you have to do is just
to a mental health professional and a social worker and an escort of like 5 cops on each call.
the ECU.
It's going to end up being more expensive, more risky, but hey, what do I know? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's if it's a super high crime area, yeah, these unarmed mental health professionals aren't, and I'm not even talking about the call they're responding to. if it's a super high crime area, they're not going to want to go in there without an escort. Especially after the first couple of times they get mugged on their way in.
Yeah, probably.
And Johnny, you think of the 5 jaded social workers talking down to a jumper. Do a flip.
The 300,
Yes.
it runs the same platform. As
Yeah, if you're already there, just pull out your
Charger
camera.
Challenger,
Enjoy.
don't they?
And Actual 3610, thank you for the $2. They're creating social worker jobs for whammons. Yeah, I mean, I could see that going. But like, imagine sending 2 women social workers into a high crime area to handle a violent mental health crisis. Oh, we're going to be reading all sorts of interesting news articles. And I'm still TGT. Thank you for the 2. Bloat, bloat, bloat. Let's go. Oh, there's so much of that everywhere. Strawby, thank you for the 5. It puts the whoppers in the basket, or else it gets the hose again. That is right, man. Buffalo Bill got nothing on me. And see, he had a sub basement. That's right. I need to get a Buffalo Bill style one. I could just have them dig holes. Yeah. I talk about Linux, thank you for the 5. Can I be the editor, Demon Lord at the bottom floor? Over 20 years artistic experience in management training.
Don't cut off.
Well, maybe once I get to 20 floors, I'll look into that.
Don't
Eric
do
Snow 20, thank you for the 5. Have you noticed Tim's Subverse channel is gone? Apparently he got rid of the brand because the name was too much of a burden to him. Oh, really? I mean, is it actually gone, or did he just change the name? He could have just renamed the channel. But either way, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm glad he finally gave up that hopeless fight he was trying to pick with their only real Subverse, the one everyone cares about. Yeah, I figured as much. He changed the name. Yeah, the channel's not gone. He just because he wasn't going to walk away from 6 figures worth of subscribers. Hell no. Yeah, he just changed the name. That fits. Yeah, at least now we can say that Studio Foe won. Although this does put an end to all the Tim Pool. You mean the guy that makes hentai games? That puts an end to all those jokes, unfortunately. Ah man, all out of balls. Ruh-roh. Now I know what a freaking socialist feels like. I'm out of balls. Okay, let's talk a little bit about police states real quick. Europe clamps down on cyber surveillance exports and pushes a human rights focus. No selling to evil folks, all but with a few big loopholes for some. Yeah, they're not going to turn away money. And the funny thing is, I would love for one of these companies that the EU mandates this to, like, don't sell any surveillance tech to evil people.
This is definitely basically.
How hilarious would it be if they then canceled all of their contracts with the EU? If they just went, nah, okay, I'll agree with you then. I'm not going to sell this shit to evil people, so you're cut out. I'm not selling it to you anymore. The EU has tightened up export rules on cyber surveillance tools in an effort to limit their spread to repressive regimes. Oh, what? Like Australia and the UK and the EU?
They kick off so much.
The new rules governing dual-use products and services, those that can be used in both a civilian and military context, were announced this week and follow years of negotiations. They were necessary, the EU said, because of technological developments and growing security risks. So the goods affected will include controls on things like high-end computers and drones, identification software, and spyware. The new rules put a stress on human rights as a key criteria for approving or refusing export licenses. You know how you can get around that, though? You can just move the country, or not the country, the company to another country, and then sell into the EU. Or not. I mean, you probably make more money selling outside of it. Got to be ready to do that with a company, I guess. Member states will be required to consider the risk of use in connection with internal repression and the commission of serious violations of international human rights and international humanitarian law. If you're worried about that, then you would not sell this shit to Australia, the UK, within the EU itself, America, but especially...
I think it was like a couple days ago. I ended up and doing that was the The only reason being is because, huh? The only reason why I had to do that is because 18-wheeler, Mack truck, 18-wheeler with 2 trailers. I'm like, come on, guys, cut me some slack. And they were one after another. I'm just like, damn it. So I literally had to speed up just to pass all of that. It was not fun. I'm like, watch it be my luck if there's a cop just sitting there waiting. Oh, well, looks like RG's stream died. Looks like RG's stream got killed off. Huh? No, I think RG's stream got it. Probably either that or it was a connection error or something like that. Some stupid shit. Bad place to park your box truck, sir. But we're still going, so it doesn't matter. I'll just send you the link to it, and it should pop back up. Would have showed you the food I ordered, but I was just so hungry I just basically devoured that shit. Oh, bad memories, anyone? We're about to pass that bad memory.
That was a good memory.
Okay, Charger, Cruise. What else is up here? I think that's a Jeep. Whee! So yeah, I'll send you the link to all that stuff. Not an issue. Or it might have been my error, because you know how I'm holding the phone. But oh, it's only 68 degrees? Are you kidding me? You know, it's weird. I actually average better fuel economy than my mom's car. And she drives like a saint. That's weird, ain't it?
That is weird. I try to drive like a saint. My car spits at me.
Yeah, my car bitches at me all the time, so.
Oh no, yours complains. Mine spits at me. It's like, you want good gas, Mom? Stupid. It's a sports car. Buy a different one.
The car's like, is that all you can do? I'm greatly disappointed. That makes me wonder. Can your car fit the Is there actually a hood for the WRX hood scoop?
I didn't ask them yet.
Huh?
Did not ask them yet. I will ask them.
All right. Because they have one for Legacy and the Impreza. I'd definitely be willing to do that. I will just give me one in silver. Alrighty. Don't hit me, guys. Don't hit me. Oh. We got the sporty new vehicle. Well, it's not new, but it's pretty damn close to new. Alrighty, me. I don't want people knowing where I live that don't know me like that. No offense. Oh man.
Did you have a good time?
Of course. Always. That's all that matters, right?
I'm tired. I'm ready to pass out, so I'm going to go to sleep for a couple hours and then get back up and do this again.
That way you make more money. Do
Oh,
let
no, I have to stay awake anyway because I don't have work clothes for tomorrow.
Oh man.
I forgot about that page. No, you didn't, page.
Any other trash you need?
Just
Toss it back. I'm taking that. You just fucking ate the ice, dude, motherfucker. Oh shit. Hold on 1 second.
that's really cold.
Come on, which one is it? Would you rather be cold or would you rather be hot? How do you not know where your phone is?
Oh God, I'm about to forget this.
This should go back in there somehow. Well, let's put shit back. Toss it. Toss it in. Toss it in. Fish on, fish on.
Alright, here's the other time.
Alright, bro. You too. Oh, there goes my beauty. The silver demon. I shall see the road probably tomorrow or the day after. Of course. She double lock it like I'm not coming back. Alright, I have made it back in one piece. Alright. Remove my wet boots. Let's do it. Just toss the whole thing. Alright. Come on, cat. Alright. Lock the doors. Alright. Back to my sanctuary in the middle of hell. It's partially wet, but who cares? Start the box I do. Shut. Okay, let's see if I can get a mean cameo. Hey. Hey, Mew. Hey. How you doing? Come on. I set this upstairs. I gotta set this downstairs. Down the dark corridor. My jacket is wet, so I had to hang it up. Alright. I'm gonna end stream and then pick it back up on the bigger screen that you saw a glimpse of. Be right back.